23 games back, but you can really see how between second and eighth, with 2 weeks left in the playoffs, the 8th place team's only 4.5 games out of second place, so there's a lot of games left and it's going to be a lot of action. Every day you look at the standings and the team that was in third one day might be in sixth the next day, and the team that was in seventh might have jumped up to fourth, and so it'll be really fun and interesting. And we see as the Dogs play spoiler to a couple of other teams, and maybe we'll knock a couple of teams out of the playoffs that might have been there otherwise.
That'd be nice, get some satisfaction about making it difficult for some of these other teams. You mentioned the top 4 teams in the league are going to make the playoffs, and there's a big group from really third, really from second on back, but when you look at North Shore Navigators, they're 8 back from the league, but they're only from the league, but they're only 4 games up from the 8th place team. Yeah. So that group right there, when they start playing each other, it can be a 1 or 2 game swing, just on the turn of a bat, really, the swing of a bat. So they'll really be fighting it out the last 2 weeks of the season to see who gets that 4th and final playoff spot.
Be a really tight race, and it'll be fun to watch and see who ends up making the playoffs.
Also, let's talk a little bit about the All-Star game. We have a big All-Star game coming up in Nashua, the home of the Silver Knights, and we've kind of split it up into East and a West division. They're gonna pit the established teams, the original 4 against the new 5, and talk a little bit about the All-Stars and who our 2 representatives, Brian Menduke and Shane Keddy, are going to represent.
Brian Menduke, our closer, and Shane Keddy, who's our leading hitter. They've both well-deserved. Menduke this year, he's pitched 17 1/3 innings in relief, and in that time, he's only given up 3 earned runs for 1.56 ERA. He has 3 saves, he has 18 strikeouts. He has a 1-1 record, and so, like we say, he likes to make things interesting, but he's only given up the 3 earned runs, so when it comes down to it, he's able to shut down the batters, and he's done well. Then you have Shane Keddy, who, like I said, is a team leader in average. He's batting .252. He has 2 home runs, 9 runs scored. He's hit 6 doubles. He has a triple, and he has 13 RBIs. So they're both very, very well-deserved honors. They've both played well this year. They've been kind of our go-to guys, either out of the pen or in the lineup, and it's been great to see them representing the team down in Nashua.
And talk about doing it all. I think Shane has also spent a little time on the mound. I know I think he got into that game against the British National, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he might have got one other appearance, but he's definitely a fine all-around player, and he's those 2 players, Brian and Shane, will both represent the team well. And not to be left out of the mix, you talked about Jake Archie. He got a lot of votes and finished up second. We were looking at the website and following the voting, and Jake, I believe, got close to 5,000 votes, and he lost out to a player, I believe, from the Nashua Silver Knights.
From the North Shore Navigators.
North Shore Navigators, okay.
Yeah, I believe Archie ended up with around 8,000 votes. He received 38.6 of the fan vote, and he ended up losing by 5%. There was a fan vote, and each team in the league had 1 player represented, and you go either to the Futures League website or to their Facebook page, and you can vote either there. And we were kind of watching it, the first day, first few hours, somebody had 30, somebody had 5, somebody had 12, and you didn't really know how high it was going to get. And all of a sudden, as the week went on, you're looking up, and Archie was around 8,000. He ended up losing by 2,000 votes, but it was only 5%. That's just how many fans came out and voted. Just want to thank you, the fans, for voting for Archie, and I always put him there, but he made a great case for himself this week with his .417 average and his 2 home runs, but it was really fun watching it.
And he also does a great job behind the plate when he's catching too. He's fit in very well with the team, and it's nice to see him have that success that he's having. Looking at the All-Stars by team, the league is pretty well represented from top to bottom. There's a nice split amongst how many representatives from each team.
Yeah, Nashua, they're running away with the league this year. They have the most All-Stars, and they're hosting it. They have 10 All-Stars, and the North Shore Navigators, they have 8 All-Stars. The Martha's Vineyard Sharks, they have 7. The Brockton Rocks have 6. Old Orchard Beach and Seacoast each have 5 All-Stars. Torrington and Pittsfield each have 4 All-Stars, and Wachusett has 2 All-Stars.
And do we have a list of who's going to be starting the All-Star game, who the top vote getter from each team were, Ross?
We do. We have Ryan Pelorte of Torrington will be starting at catcher. Chris Shaw of Nashua will be playing first base. Logan Gills, again from Nashua, will be playing second base. Eric Jensen from Martha's Vineyard will be playing shortstop. James Castronulis of Nashua playing third base.
I got to tell you, I had trouble with his name Monday night. I announced him probably 5 different times. I'm the PA announcer, and I think all 5 times I announced his last name differently, and it turned into a chuckle. Every time he came up to bat, I'd look around and everybody's like, "Oh, go ahead, what do you got this time, Bill?"
John Minucci of Nashua is playing outfield. Connor Bierfeld of Torrington playing outfield, and Kevin Stanhouse of Seacoast playing outfield. That wraps up the original 4 teams. And of the new 5 teams, Greg Baggett is catcher from Brockton. Matt Verrier of Old Orchard Beach, who playing first base. Andrew Harris of the North Shore Navigators, who playing second base. Jason Volser of Old Orchard, who playing shortstop. Vito Perna of Brockton, who playing third base. Tim Hendricks of North Shore playing the outfield. Tony Serino of the North Shore playing the outfield, and Sean Ryan of Brockton playing the outfield.
You know, and I'm looking over where some of these kids go to college or where they're from, and you know, the league is made up of approximately 50% local players, either local by hometown or local by the college they attend. But I'm seeing the majority of the players in the All-Star team are locally.
Yeah,
and it's nice to see that, although we have a wide mix of players from down south and the Midwest and West, but it's nice to see the New England-based kids are being very successful and being voted to starters on this All-Star team.
Yeah, it's been really good to show of the New England talent. Good chance to see them play, and they've really done well with it.
Well, moving on from the All-Star game, just a reminder, the game is Thursday night. It's up at the Nashua Silver Knights Stadium. I believe they play at Holman Stadium.
Yeah,
it's
Holman
up off
Stadium.
Route 3. It's a very nice park, and if you're not doing anything Thursday night, go up there and watch some All-Star baseball. It's going to be a great game. There should be a lot going on. So come on up and enjoy some All-Star baseball, and then we want you back at Doyle Field come Sunday to watch our own All-Stars play. So what else we got going on, Ross? I know we got some merchandise stuff. You know, we got Digger's Dog Shop at the park, where we have some T-shirts and other assorted merchandise that the team is selling, marketing to the kids, some pictures, the stuff they can get autographed. What do we have at Digger's Dog Shop?
You know, we have pennants, we have hats, you know, game on-field hats, adjustable hats, snapback hats, T-shirts, gray and white, pennants, and kids love getting the pennants, and then kind of hanging out after the game to get them signed by the players. And so come down, check out Digger's Dog Shop, and get some good Dirt Dog apparel.
And we also, going back to our social media, we're on Facebook a lot. And can you go on Facebook and like us or leave comments and suggestions about the team?
Go on Facebook, you can write on our wall, write on our page, and like us. And if you like us, you'll get all of our information, just about different coupons, what's going on, different promotions. And if you follow us on Twitter, that's more where we're constantly are. We get starting lineups on Twitter. If you follow the game home or away, follow us on Twitter. We have inning by inning updates, and good way to really just stay in touch with the Dirt Dogs.
And how do you find us on Facebook? If you just go to this search, Watch Use of Dirt Dogs, then we pop right up?
Yep.
And if you want to follow us on Twitter, how do they get us on Twitter?
Put in our tag at Dawg, DAWG_pen, PEN. So that's at Dawg_pen.
And if they want to go directly to our home website, how do they get there, Ross?
It'll be www.dirtdogsball.com.
And on our own home website, there's a lot of stuff that you don't find on the other websites. You talk about coupons and upcoming promotions. Also, I think they can follow our Twitter hashtags there and really stay up to date on our own website.
Yep, and they can also click on a link after watching our show here today, and they can win a free pair of tickets.
And how would you go about winning a free pair of tickets, Ross?
Well, by going to the website and answering this question. How many home runs were hit on Monday night's game between our team and Nashua? So that's how many combined home runs were hit between our team and Nashua. Just go to our website, dirtdogsball.com, click on outside the doghouse, and it'll be your chance to win. Just fill in the form. And
just a reminder, what do we have for upcoming home games, Ross?
Upcoming, we have Sunday, Return of the Frisbee Dog, and Monday, we have taken on the Seacoast Mavericks, I believe, at 6:35.
And as the season winds down, do you know how many home games we have left?
We have 7 home games left.
And the season will be 2 weeks from today, I believe, is when the season winds up. It's August the 8th, August the 9th. So you still got time to come out to Doyle Field, catch yourself some good baseball. It's a great time, very inexpensive activity to bring the family, and the kids have a ball with it. And just come and see Digger, get yourself an autograph, meet some of the players, get involved in some of the between inning activities. I know the kids are having a blast, and Digger is just nonstop.
Yes, Digger really loves being around the kids.
Well, we want to thank you for joining us today. This has been Outside the Doghouse. I'm your host, Bill Thomas.
I'm Ross McNamara.
And we hope to see you next week.